Okay, so the goal for today's lesson is I can graph a story. So the story we're going to do right now is this bridge problem. Okay, so painting a bridge. A group of workers are planning to paint a bridge. And X is the number of workers and Y is the length of the bridge. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I am going to name or write this in my table. So I know that X is my number of workers. That's not of workers. Okay. And Y is my time it'll take them. Okay, so you'll notice in this problem, it doesn't really give us that much information. It doesn't tell us how long this bridge is. So let's pretend it's the Golden Gate Bridge, similar to this bridge right here. And I don't know, it's kind of a long bridge. So I'm assuming that if it was just one person, it would take them 300 hours. Okay, so now I need to see what's going to happen when I change the number of workers. So if there were 2 people working, well, it took 300 hours for one person. So I'm assuming for 2 people, it would probably take about 150 hours. Okay, because 150 plus 150 makes 300. Okay, and then if there were 3 people, well, it would probably take 100 hours because they would all be working. So 100 hours each would make 300. Okay, and if there were 4 people working, that would take 75. And I can check that by doing either 300 divided by 4, and that'll give me 75. Or I could have done 4 times 75, and I can see if that gives me the 300. So I've got my table of values. Now it's time to graph. Before I begin that, though, I just made up that 300 hours. It could be whatever you want. The point of this is to get the right shape. Okay, so as long as you are following the parameters of the problem, you're going to get the right shape. So I've got number of workers on my x-axis. And on my y-axis, I have time to paint. Time to paint. Okay, and my x-axis, if you look at it, it's counting by ones. So that's what I'm going to do on mine as well. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I didn't go to 5, but it's okay that I went up to 5. And then on the y-axis, I got the length of time. And I have to get to 300, so I think I'm going to count by 50s. If you count by 25s, that's fine, or hundreds, that's fine. I just chose 50s. So I have 50, 100, I got 150, 200, 250, and then I'm gonna have to extend this just a little bit, 300. Okay, and now I'm gonna plot my points. So I've got 1 at 300, I've got 2 at 150, okay, I've got 3 at 100, okay, and then I've got 4 at 75. Okay, and this doesn't like make beautiful points, but actually here, let's put it in better. So 1 is at, oh, I like that a lot better. I'm just going to graph these points one more time. I have 1 at 300. I've got 2 at 150. I've got 3 at 100. And then I have 4 at 75. So it's a little bit above that. Now I have to decide if it makes sense to connect my points. So the 2 things I'm talking about are time. So time makes sense to connect, and number of workers. Oh, I can't have half a worker, so I'm not going to connect these points. Okay, but I am going to just sketch the shape above it. So it looks like it starts out high and then it gradually decreases. So the shape looks like this. If your problem makes sense to connect the points.